this question. I want you to repeat after me. Am I a dog? Now figure out what you are. Amen. Amen. You can ask yourself that question, whether or not you're a dog. And I don't know the different breeds of dogs. Amen. When I was a boy, we had a dog. He was a German Shepherd, and to me, he was a pretty good dog. Amen. And I known of some hound dogs. Some dogs that I knew about. And there another type of dog. Every time we would pass through the white folk part of town, they had bulldogs. And those dogs would come out after us every time we would pass their house. And we had a fight on our hands with a dog. Amen. And this prophet, Elisha said to Hazael that the dreadful thing that you're going to do when you become king of Syria. And he said to Elijah, what? Is thy servant a dog? Sometimes God can show someone else, amen, the thing that you don't admit within yourself. Amen. Amen. My mother used to tell me, see more than what you hear. Now, a lot of folk can say a whole lot of good things, but they don't mean it. They're just the opposite in their heart and mind as to what they say to you. They say one thing with their lips, but their heart is far from what they are saying. Jesus said, you honor me with your lips, but your heart is far from me. Now, Hazael, he was a servant to King Benadad. He must have been a pretty good servant because Benadad trusted in him. And when he had heard about Elisha, the prophet, the man of God, had come into town and come into Damascus, he sent to him. Now, the Assyrian, they worship idol god. But the Israelites, most of them, they were known to worship the God. Even though we know that from time to time they had some good kings over Israel and they had some bad kings. And the good king, they worship and honor God. But the evil king, they erected idol god. And which made God angry with Israel. And so even though that King Benadad was an idol worshiper, but he heard about Elisha is in town. Now we wonder, how did he know about Elisha? Well, it may have been that when Naaman, the captain of the Syrian host, had been a leper, he had the leprosy, and when they had when Naaman went on a raid with the Syrian army, they had raided the camp of the Israelites and had taken away a little girl from the land of Israel. Had carried her away captive into this foreign land. And when they got there, she saw that Naaman was a leper. And she said, I would, my God, that Naaman was in Samaria, where the man of God, he would heal him. And so when he heard about that, the king gave him leave to go to the land of Israel. And there he was cured by the man of God. So it may be that he heard about Elisha, amen, because of what he had done for Naaman. But however, the Bible says he heard that Elisha was in town. Now Elisha, we know who he was, not Elijah, but Elisha, who was a prophet of God. We call him a man of God. He was the successor of Elijah. Amen. You know Elijah, who was a great prophet, and one that had called down fire on Mount Carmel when Israel had gone away from God and worshiping Baal. And when God had got tired of Israel doing what they were doing, they had sent Elijah, not Elisha, to King Ahab and to tell him that it wasn't going to rain for a space of 3 years and 6 months. And because of their sin. And sure enough, God said it's not going to rain, not going to even be no dew from heaven. Rain, not dew. Amen. Because of your wickedness. And as the story goes on, it didn't rain for over a space of 3 years and 6 months, because the man of God had spoken what God had told him to say. When Elijah had done that, and Elijah had called, told Ahab that it's not going to rain, it didn't rain, and they had sent out different men over the land to see what's in the water in the land. They couldn't, all the brooks had dried up. And so God told Elijah, you go and meet King Ahab and tell him that I'm going to give him some rain. And when Ahab was looking for Elijah, and Obadiah also was looking for Elijah, and God told him go meet Obadiah. And when he saw him, he said, go back and tell King Ahab that I want to meet him on Mount Carmel. And I want to have a meeting with him. And so when King Ahab saw Elijah, he said, thou art the one that have troubled Israel. And Elijah said, no, you're the one.